Emily, a lot of people are looking at the Twitter and the Facebook headlines and wondering how that's going to influence things like the companies they end up buying. And for some more on the hot investment areas tied to mobile, I'm joined by Lou Kerner, who is Wall Street's first social media analyst, and he now runs the Social Internet Fund, which focuses on companies in the areas of social and mobile. Welcome back. Good to see you here on the West Coast for once.
It's great to be here, always on the West Coast.
So Facebook, Twitter, these aren't the kinds of companies that you're looking to invest at. Those are the stories that everybody knows. But we are getting some good ideas on how they're doing in mobile. And what is that telling you about where you want to invest?
I think it's still incredibly early in mobile, right? It's so early in mobile that Facebook really isn't even monetizing at all, and Twitter has only recently started to monetize their mobile, where the vast majority of their users are today.
Do you still, though, do people say, we saw the Instagram deal, yes, Facebook's been through a heck of a lot since that deal, but do they still say, I want to try and target the kinds of companies that Facebook might end up buying, or that Twitter might end up buying?
I think it's hard to target the companies that they're going to buy. What you want to be is in companies that are rapidly growing. That's what I'm looking at. What are the companies that are scaling? Because if you're scaling, you're doing something right, and when you're scaling, you also start to become very attractive to companies like Twitter and Facebook and Google.
All right, speaking of scale, the head of Foursquare, Dennis Crowley, was on with Emily earlier in the show, and he talked about how as more people check in, they get more data on those people, and that helps their business. I mean, Foursquare is generally a recognizable name now, but is that the kind of company that you would look to invest in as well?
That would be the exact kind of company. It's a company that's already scaled, and it's continuing to scale. It's also a platform. It's a company where you have hundreds of engineers who are waking up today writing code to make Foursquare better that aren't on Foursquare's payroll. And those are the great companies, the companies that have that kind of that kind of activity on their platform.
We were talking earlier in the show about Baidu, but there's a company called Badu, which is in this area of social discovery, which means on your phone you can get a pretty good sense on the people around you. But this one's specifically on dating?
Well, if you're young, you have no interest in going on Match.com and filling out a profile and emailing back and forth with somebody. If you're 20 years old and you want to meet somebody, you want to meet them now. So what you want is an application that's going to show you who's within a 3 or 4 block radius of where I am right now.
Don't chase them down, though.
That wants to meet somebody, though.
Yeah.
So they've already indicated that they want to meet somebody, and if you want to jump up to be the first person that somebody else sees, all you have to do is pay $3. So that, for the price of half a beer, you can be the first person they see. And it's huge outside of the U.S., over 150 million members already, and they've just started to make a big push in the U.S.
But just going back to the Facebook and Twitter, I mean, is that the kind of business that Facebook would want to buy, or as an investor, you're just looking at the numbers of growth and saying that looks pretty good to me?
I don't think that that's right in the wheelhouse of Facebook or Twitter, but this is a company that I think can continue to scale rapidly, could actually even be a potential IPO candidate down the road, and ultimately at the end of the day, what you want to look for is companies that are going to be able to generate significant free cash flow, and Baidu is a great candidate for that.
Really quickly, a lot of these companies are very small. It's not the easiest to invest in them if you're the average investor. How long of a return are you waiting on for your payoff on these kinds of companies?
We're looking at companies that are scaling. I think that a lot of the companies are going to get taken out in 2 to 3 years' time, and those that aren't taken out, I think, can continue to grow for the foreseeable future. So I think we're still early in this cycle of really the greatest wealth creation period we've ever seen.
Good to see you, Lou.
Good to see you, John.
Lou Kerner, the founder of the Social Internet Fund. Emily, I'll send it back to you.